guess we're gonna do another one just to show you guys.
Oh man, I miss this car. Just got back to basically California from Florida, and there was one issue I saw as soon as I got back to the shop, which is my Rx8. You see, this car looks really nice, but this is new. I just noticed that when I got back, so I want to go now see what the hell happened, because there's a bunch of oil under the car. So made it here with the Rx8 to my friend's house. Let me see if it leaked again.
Oh yeah, the thing. You can see, let me see, you can see that there. Look at that oil out there. So this thing definitely has a cracked oil pan.
So we're gonna go to the store real quick, get some oil for it, silicone, all that shit, and then come back and fix the car. Center of the suffering has an actual like a little bubble on it.
Oh, I see it. Damn, bruh. It's leaking bad. It's coming. Looks like right here it's pinched.
So I can't have nice things.
Oh, look at that.
It's leaking fast.
Oh boy. Oh,
It's gonna be hot, that oil.
ah! Here we go. It's a money shot. Ow! That oil is hot, boy.
Do you know how everyone always complains about how like people use too much silicone in the oil pans?
Yeah.
You see how like how that one is? That's like that's factory. This is caked on there.
So messy. Here we go.
Oh my god.
This stuff is so hot. Que caliente.
That thing's cleaned up, ready to go now. But the issue I have is this. This is like basically the secondary plate, and you can, I don't know if you can tell, but that thing's super bent in. It didn't break the pickup tube, but it's a little bent up, like straighten it back out. Because the main thing that where it was leaking at was right here. If you look right there, you can see it bent it pretty good in that corner. Bend it back, and hopefully it holds on for a little longer. Brand new oil pan, right, Radio?
Ish.
So yeah, I mean, it's straight again. It's not like crooked anymore. Had to hammer the shit out of it. You can see the corners, how bad they were. But it should work. Oil pan is back on the car. We let it sit for like about an hour because Radio was basically cooking burritos for us. So now we're gonna go check out, make sure it doesn't leak. Because if it leaks, Radio has to do it again.
Not down.
Prepping the Rx8 for Bunuelo this weekend. So one of the major things I had to do was literally just wash the car because the car's ready to go. I am gonna be switching the wheels back to the Blitzes, just because for this they're out of stock of the new RT660s. So I'm gonna run them on the Blitzes because they have the sizes I need for front and back. Here's the wheels I'm gonna put on the car for the track event, and they already have brand new RT660s on it. I cannot wait to see how these things do on the track. The biggest hurdle of this is gonna be putting this thing on my trailer, so it's kind of a little high. I think it'll fit, and then I have to get this somehow out there. I forgot how I did it, but get the car on the trailer. Find out where my helmet went, 'cause I can't find my helmet, and that'll be pretty much it. And after that, it's just getting there, putting gas in the car, and running it. Spotless. So this thing is pretty much like bone stock. The only thing I did to it was you can barely see it down there. That's a Koyo inflow. The other thing I did to the car was the Elite Rotary Shop pulleys. And other than that, it's bone stock and it still kicks a lot. So I had to clean up a little bit because radio spilled a bunch of oil on it and it was smoking. So now it's back to looking good as hell. Finally the sun went down, so it's not really hot outside to work in the car. So I'm about to pull the whole intake off of the car to change the O-rings and clean the SSV valve, which might be sticky, and that's why the car runs like shit. I don't know really how to work in these cars that well, because I usually don't work in them. So today I got special help. You gonna help me with this today? Yeah, so I don't know. Mochi doesn't like Rx8 either, but we're just gonna go through it together and figure out how to get this car to actually work right. Literally, the whole car is completely apart just to get that valve out of there. So you have to move the alternator bracket, the thermostat housing. You have to take off the EGR valve, basically everything just to get to that little valve right there. This is pretty much what it looks like. You can see it's really dirty. Just gonna clean it up and hopefully this stops sticking and the car actually just has low end power from now on. So now that it's clean, we can basically put it back on, and hopefully it actually does this now instead of just like being stuck. That's controlled by vacuums in the intake manifold. So if I just basically just suck into this, you just actually see the valve move now since it's not stuck anymore. 80 hours later, I finally got everything done. So everything's put back together on this side. I just finished the plug wires for the coil kit. And the last thing I have to do is swap out these O-rings. This is literally basically what seals the intakes together. So swap all these out, and I should be able to just put them back together, turn it on, hopefully. What the fuck are these? Alright, so I finally put a little bit coolant up on the smoking, but I mean, it's running pretty good. So I'm just gonna go to the gas station now, put some gas on it, and then see what it does. much successful. The car before had a weird thing that it would just basically just like have nothing at all until about 6,000 RPMs, and then you feel like a hard kick when the 6-port opened. So the SSV valve was always stuck, so the car had nothing until the 6-port opened up. So after just cleaning that, all I did was clean it. Literally this thing rips hard as hell now.